Police Walla, a fearless and dedicated officer, had earned a reputation for his unwavering commitment to justice. Metroville, a city alive with neon lights and bustling streets, hid a dark secret beneath its glamour. A ruthless mafia group, known only as the Black Serpents, controlled most of the city's illegal operations: drug trafficking, arms smuggling, extortion, and underground gambling. Their leader, Victor Marino, was cunning, ruthless, and seemingly untouchable. For months, Police Walla had been gathering intelligence on the Black Serpents. Minor arrests and operations were reported often, but the true masterminds stayed hidden in the shadows. Police Walla knew that dismantling this mafia would require entering the heart of danger, risking his career and his life. One evening, an anonymous tip arrived, warning of a massive opium shipment scheduled to arrive at the old docks in the Eastern District. This shipment, if successful, would expand the mafia's control dramatically. Police Walla immediately contacted his trusted partner, Officer Khalid, and began planning a covert surveillance operation. As dusk fell, Police Walla and Khalid positioned themselves near the docks. The salty air mixed with the faint chemical scent of the shipment. Men in dark suits moved crates from trucks into a warehouse, signaling each other in subtle, coded gestures. "Khalid," Police Walla whispered, "they're professionals. Watch every move." Hours passed under tense silence. Police Walla's mind raced with scenarios. What if the mafia had been tipped off? What if civilians were caught in the crossfire? The stakes were monumental. Finally, under the cover of darkness, the shipment began to unload. Police Walla signaled Khalid and discreetly contacted backup. The operation unfolded with military-like precision. Officers took positions around the warehouse, snipers covered the rooftops, and Police Walla prepared to enter. Inside, the pungent smell of chemicals and opium filled the air. Workers moved methodically, oblivious to the approaching storm. Suddenly, Police Walla shouted, "Metroville Police! Freeze!" Chaos erupted. Some mafia members attempted to flee, others drew weapons. A fierce firefight ensued. Police Walla moved with calculated precision, dodging attacks and coordinating his team. Several suspects were apprehended, and crucial evidence was seized, but the inner circle, including Victor Marino, escaped, leaving behind only fragments of the larger operation. Over the next days, Police Walla analyzed the evidence, shipment records, coded ledgers, and encrypted communications. Each clue revealed the vast network of the Black Serpents. They were not just a gang. They were a citywide empire with allies in politics, law enforcement, and business. Late one night, Police Walla sat alone in his office, reviewing every detail. His phone buzzed with an encrypted message: "You're getting close. Watch your step." His jaw tightened. The hunt had begun in earnest. Every decision was critical, every move dangerous. The city slept, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath its surface. Police Walla knew one thing for certain: bringing down the Black Serpents would require strategy, courage, and relentless determination. And he was ready. The morning after the raid, Police Walla arrived at the precinct before dawn. The warehouse operation had yielded partial evidence: some opium crates, shipment manifests, and encrypted ledger notes, but the masterminds remained free. The Black Serpents were smart, and Police Walla knew that every mistake could cost lives. He spread the seized documents across his desk, analyzing every code, every irregular transaction. Khalid entered, coffee in hand, and said, "It looks like they've been moving through multiple channels, warehouses, front businesses, even legitimate imports. They're covering their tracks well." Police Walla nodded. "Exactly. But every system has a weakness. We just need to find it." His mind raced through every conversation, every minor observation from the raid. There was a pattern in the way the crates were labeled, subtle deviations in the transport times, and a recurring symbol stamped on the boxes: a small black serpent. Using the city's surveillance network, Police Walla traced the movements of the vehicles that had delivered the crates. Some trucks had taken unusual detours through industrial zones, others had returned empty but on irregular schedules. Slowly, a map of potential hideouts and storage points began to emerge. 2 days into the investigation, Police Walla received a tip-off from an informant, a young man named Arif, who claimed to have worked as a loader for the Black Serpents. Arif had been too scared to report earlier but promised vital information if Police Walla could protect him. In a discreet meeting, Arif revealed that Victor Marino was planning a massive shipment within the next week, one that would expand their opium network across 3 neighboring cities. "The leader is planning something huge," Arif whispered, his voice trembling. "If you don't stop it, the city will drown in their drugs." Police Walla knew this was his chance. He instructed Khalid to coordinate surveillance on all known serpent locations, while he studied the shipment schedules. Days turned into nights as he pieced together the complex puzzle. Every warehouse, every delivery route, and every suspicious meeting was logged and monitored. Meanwhile, the Black Serpents were not idle. Victor Marino had learned of the raid and was tightening his security. Armed guards patrolled every perimeter, and encrypted communication channels made it nearly impossible to intercept messages. Police Walla realized that brute force would not work. Strategy and intelligence were the only weapons he had. Late at night, Police Walla sat alone with a city map pinned to the wall, strings connecting various locations. He marked warehouses, safe houses, and potential shipment routes. Each connection represented a part of the criminal empire, and each thread brought him closer to the core. He whispered to himself, one move at a time. Precision is everything. By the end of the week, the investigation led Police Walla to a suspicious front business, a shipping company with an impeccable public record but subtle irregularities in cargo logs. He noted the location for a potential raid and planned a covert surveillance operation to confirm if the Black Serpents were using it as a distribution hub. On the day of the surveillance, Police Walla positioned himself on the rooftop of a nearby building, binoculars trained on the shipping company. Hours passed, and the city below moved unaware of the looming confrontation. Finally, activity began. A truck entered, followed by several men in dark uniforms, moving crates quickly and systematically. Police Walla radioed Khalid. "This is it. Everything we've tracked points here. Stand by for extraction." The tension was palpable. Every heartbeat echoed the gravity of the moment. The trap was being set, and soon, the chase that would bring the Black Serpents closer to justice would begin. By nightfall, Police Walla had gathered enough evidence to link the front company directly to Victor Marino's operations. The Black Serpents were expanding, but their expansion was now visible, and every move they made was under Police Walla's watchful eye. As he left the rooftop, Police Walla's thoughts were clear. The battle was far from over. The Mafia was cunning, ruthless, and always one step ahead. But with patience, strategy, and determination, he would unravel their empire, one clue at a time. Days after confirming the suspicious front company, Police Walla knew he was closing in on the Black Serpents' core operations. The front business was just the tip of the iceberg. The real power lay in a secret hideout that Victor Marino had meticulously hidden from the world. Every clue he had gathered, the shipment patterns, coded ledgers, and informant tips, pointed to a location deep within the industrial outskirts of Metroville. Police Walla and Khalid began a week-long surveillance operation. Cameras, drones, and undercover agents were deployed. The Black Serpents were cautious, but even the most careful criminals leave traces. Night after night, Police Walla documented every movement, noting the timing of trucks, the faces of guards, and shifts in security patterns. One evening, an informant contacted Police Walla with critical intelligence. "They are moving the leader's personal shipments to a hidden warehouse near the abandoned rail yard," he whispered, fear evident in his voice. The warehouse was rumored to be heavily fortified, with layers of security and loyal men ready to eliminate anyone who got too close. Police Walla felt a surge of determination. This was the break he had been waiting for. He instructed Khalid to coordinate a discreet perimeter setup while he studied the warehouse layout using satellite imagery and city blueprints. Every entrance, every alley, every vantage point was analyzed. The plan had to be flawless. The Mafia's reputation for ruthless retaliation was well known. The day of the reconnaissance, Police Walla approached the area under the cover of dusk. He parked his unmarked vehicle a few blocks away and observed from a concealed rooftop. Guards patrolled the perimeter in predictable patterns, and the trucks arrived and departed with mechanical precision. He noted every guard rotation and memorized the escape routes. Later that night, Police Walla met with his team in a safe house. "The next move is critical. One wrong step, and we risk the lives of every officer involved. Victor Marino's inner circle is heavily armed. We can't afford a frontal attack," he explained. The team nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. The plan was set. They would wait for the opportune moment when the majority of the guards were distracted by a scheduled shipment transfer. Police Walla would lead a small strike team to infiltrate the warehouse and gather evidence, while backup units secured escape routes and communication lines. As the night deepened, the operation began. Police Walla and his team moved silently through the shadows, keeping low and using the cover of abandoned buildings and fences. Every heartbeat echoed in the still night, each step measured, every decision critical. They reached the perimeter undetected, observing the guards' movements and timing their entry. Inside, the warehouse was a labyrinth of crates and containers, some labeled as electronics, others plainly hiding opium. Police Walla's sharp eyes quickly identified the crates with the serpent emblem, the unmistakable mark of the Black Serpents. They set cameras and collected samples, documenting the scale of the operation. Suddenly, a guard's flashlight swept across their hiding spot. Police Walla signaled the team to stay still. The beam passed, but the tension was palpable. Every second was a test of nerves and precision. Once the coast was clear, they continued deeper, discovering secret rooms filled with ledgers, encrypted documents, and weapon caches. This was the heart of the Mafia's operations, the inner sanctum. Police Walla carefully photographed every piece of evidence. Each ledger revealed the network's extent, shipment routes spanning multiple cities, bribes paid to officials, and names of corrupt contacts. The magnitude of Victor Marino's empire was staggering. Yet, amidst the evidence, Police Walla found a note hinting at an upcoming major shipment, a critical moment where they could finally strike the Mafia at its core. As the team prepared to exfiltrate, a sudden noise echoed through the warehouse. A patrol guard had returned earlier than expected. A tense confrontation followed, and for the first time, Police Walla engaged in close combat with the Mafia guards. Quick reflexes, precision strikes, and years of training allowed him and his team to neutralize the threat without triggering a full-scale alarm. Exiting the warehouse under the cover of darkness, Police Walla felt the weight of the evidence they had gathered. This was more than just a raid, it was the first step toward dismantling the Black Serpents. Every photograph, every document, every observation would bring them closer to Victor Marino. Back at headquarters, Police Walla began analyzing the new evidence. Every shipment route, every contact, every hidden cache was mapped and connected. The Black Serpent's empire was vast, but for the first time, it was becoming visible, and Police Walla's relentless pursuit was starting to unravel their carefully constructed network. But he knew the battle was far from over. Victor Marino was intelligent and ruthless. Any misstep could cost lives, and the Mafia would strike back with fury. Police Walla took a deep breath, preparing for the challenges ahead. The shadows of the city were growing darker, but with strategy, courage, and determination, he was ready to face the storm. With the intelligence gathered from the secret hideout, Police Walla now had a clear picture of the Black Serpent's next major operation, a massive opium shipment that could expand their influence across multiple cities. The stakes were higher than ever. Failure was not an option. Lives, justice, and the future of Metroville hung in the balance. Police Walla assembled a special strike team, trained for covert operations and rapid interventions. Every officer was briefed on the targets, the layout, and the possible traps. Khalid, his trusted partner, stood beside him. "This is it," Police Walla said, his voice calm but resolute. "We hit them fast, precise, and clean. No mistakes." The plan was intricate. The shipment would arrive at a hidden warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Police Walla had set up surveillance for a week, monitoring the comings and goings, guard rotations, and hidden escape routes. The Mafia, as expected, had fortified the location with armed guards, motion sensors, and loyal enforcers ready to eliminate intruders. Night fell. The strike team moved like shadows, silent and synchronized. Police Walla led the team, his senses heightened to every sound, the distant hum of trucks, the rustle of leaves, the faint echo of footsteps. The warehouse loomed ahead, a fortress of crime, but he was undeterred. Using a diversion created by backup units at the rear of the warehouse, Police Walla and his team approached the main entrance undetected. As they neared, a patrol guard noticed a shadow. Quick reflexes and tactical precision allowed Police Walla to silently neutralize the threat. Inside, the warehouse was a maze of crates and containers, many marked with the serpent emblem. The team split into units. Police Walla's group headed for the central storage area, where the shipment was being prepared. They planted surveillance devices, photographed the opium crates, and documented everything. The scale of the operation was staggering. This was the Mafia's crown jewel, and taking it down would send a strong message. Suddenly, alarms blared. One of the guards had triggered a motion sensor. Chaos erupted. Police. Wallace shouted commands, coordinating his team as they engaged in a firefight. Bullets ricocheted, crates toppled, and smoke filled the warehouse. Precision and training allowed Police Wallace to lead his officers effectively, neutralizing threats and securing key evidence. Amidst the chaos, Victor Marino's lieutenants appeared, armed, ruthless, and ready to fight to the death. Police Wallace faced them head-on, a tense standoff where every second counted. Strategy over brute force was his mantra. Using cover, tactical maneuvers, and quick thinking, he managed to incapacitate the lieutenants one by one, sending a clear message that the Black Serpents' reign was being challenged. As the smoke cleared, Police Wallace and his team secured the opium shipment and the incriminating ledgers. Several Mafia members were apprehended, while others escaped into the night, vowing revenge. The first major confrontation had ended in success, but Police Wallace knew this was only the beginning. Victor Marino would not sit idle. Back at headquarters, Police Wallace reviewed the seized documents. Patterns emerged, detailing corrupt officials, hidden accounts, and planned expansions. The Black Serpents were large, powerful, and dangerous, but they were no longer invisible. Every raid, every piece of evidence brought them closer to justice. The operation sent shockwaves through Metroville. Rumors of Police Wallace's fearless assault spread, instilling fear in the Mafia ranks. Yet, with this victory came new challenges. The Mafia was grouping, likely planning retaliation, and their next moves would be more dangerous, unpredictable, and ruthless. Police Wallace understood the gravity. This confrontation had proven his strategy worked, but Victor Marino was cunning. The battle was far from over, and the coming days would test courage, intelligence, and resilience like never before. The trap had worked, but the war was only beginning. The city was abuzz with news of Police Wallace's daring raid. The Black Serpents had suffered a significant blow, but Victor Marino was far from defeated. He retreated into the shadows, reorganizing his network, fortifying his resources, and plotting a devastating counterattack. Police Wallace, confident but cautious, continued his investigation. The seized ledgers revealed shocking connections, hidden accounts, shell companies, and a network of corrupt officials. Every clue painted a vivid picture of the Mafia's influence. But amidst the apparent clarity, Police Wallace felt an unease he couldn't shake. One evening, Khalid approached him with troubling news. "Sir, there's something strange. Some of the intel we've been following, it's being fed to us. But I suspect someone inside the force is leaking information to the Black Serpents." Police Wallace's eyes narrowed. Betrayal from within the department was the last thing he expected. He immediately launched a discreet internal investigation, monitoring communications, cross-referencing activities, and observing behavior patterns. The deeper he delved, the clearer it became. Someone close to him had been feeding information to Victor Marino. Meanwhile, the Black Serpents escalated their operations. They struck back at smaller warehouses, sending a message to Police Wallace and the city. Civilians were caught in the crossfire, and public fear grew. Police Wallace knew this was Victor Marino's doing, a calculated move to destabilize law enforcement and assert dominance. One night, a tip led Police Wallace to a warehouse on the city outskirts. He entered cautiously, expecting a routine surveillance operation. But the scene before him was shocking. Khalid, his trusted partner, was in conversation with a known lieutenant of the Black Serpents. Evidence of collusion lay openly on a table, shipment records, encrypted messages, and marked crates ready for distribution. Police Wallace's heart pounded. The betrayal cut deep, not just professionally, but personally. Khalid had been feeding the Mafia information, sabotaging operations, and putting countless lives at risk. Yet, Police Wallace kept his composure. He needed proof, strategy, and control. Any rash action could alert Victor Marino and destroy months of hard work. Over the next few days, Police Wallace worked covertly to gather irrefutable evidence against Khalid while simultaneously tightening surveillance on the Black Serpents' operations. The betrayal added complexity to an already dangerous mission, but it also gave him a unique advantage. Victor Marino would not suspect that Police Walla knew of the mole within his ranks. During a carefully orchestrated sting operation, Police Walla confronted Khalid, presenting the gathered evidence. The confrontation was tense. Khalid, cornered, revealed shocking motivations: years of fear, threats against his family, and manipulation by Victor Marino. He had been coerced, but his actions had endangered everyone. Police Walla, though shaken, remained resolute. He coordinated with internal affairs to secure Khalid and used the betrayal to feed misinformation to Victor Marino. The mole's exposure allowed Police Walla to anticipate the Mafia's next moves, setting traps and preparing for the ultimate confrontation. The city teetered on the edge of chaos. The Black Serpents, confident and ruthless, had no idea that the very information they relied upon had been compromised. Police Walla's strategy was meticulous, turning betrayal into leverage, confusion into control, and danger into opportunity. As he reviewed the plans for the final strike, Police Walla understood the gravity of what lay ahead. Victor Marino would strike back with everything he had, the Mafia's last desperate move, but this time, Police Walla would be ready. The betrayal had tested him, sharpened him, and revealed the depths of the criminal empire he was determined to dismantle. With the pieces in place, Police Walla prepared for the climactic battle, a confrontation that would determine the fate of Metroville and decide whether justice would finally triumph over the Black Serpents. The city had never felt so tense. Rumors of Police Walla's relentless pursuit had spread throughout Metroville, and the Black Serpents were preparing their most desperate and dangerous counterattack. Victor Marino, enraged by the betrayal within his ranks and the constant disruption of his operations, vowed to crush Police Walla and regain control of the empire he had built with ruthless precision. Police Walla, aware of the high stakes, meticulously prepared his plan for the final confrontation. Every detail mattered: entry points, guard rotations, escape routes, and backup coordination. He had mapped out the Mafia's operations from months of investigation, surveillance, and intelligence gathering. Every clue, every observation, every previous encounter led him to this pivotal moment. The operation was set at an abandoned industrial complex, rumored to be Victor Marino's secret headquarters. Police Walla assembled his team, carefully selected officers trained in tactical operations, sharpshooters, and surveillance experts. Everyone knew the mission's gravity. Failure was not an option. Under the cover of night, Police Walla led his team to the complex. Every step was calculated, every shadow observed. As they approached the main gates, guards spotted them. A sudden confrontation erupted, but this time, Police Walla had anticipated their tactics. Coordinated precision strikes neutralized the perimeter guards without raising alarms. Inside, the warehouse was a maze of reinforced containers, secret rooms, and armed lieutenants. Victor Marino awaited, flanked by his most loyal enforcers. The tension in the air was palpable. Police Walla signaled his team, and the final battle began. Gunfire echoed through the complex as officers advanced strategically. Police Walla moved with expert precision, leading the assault while maintaining communication with his team. Every encounter was a test of skill, courage, and quick thinking. The Mafia fought fiercely, but Police Walla's planning and intelligence gave him the upper hand. In a dramatic showdown, Police Walla confronted Victor Marino directly. The room was tense, charged with danger and anticipation. Victor raised his weapon, but Police Walla, calm and determined, disarmed him with skill and decisiveness. The battle that had consumed the city's underworld for months had reached its climax. With Victor Marino apprehended and the remaining Mafia members either captured or in retreat, Police Walla's operation achieved its ultimate goal. The Black Serpents' empire was dismantled, their shipments seized, and their network exposed. Justice, long delayed, had finally been served. Back at the precinct, Police Walla reviewed the evidence one last time. The ledgers, shipment records, and communication logs provided a complete account of the Black Serpents' criminal activities. Prosecutors had enough material to ensure long-term convictions. The city, once under the shadow of fear and corruption, was now safer because of relentless courage and unwavering commitment. Police Walla, standing on the rooftop of the precinct, looked out over the city. The streets, once teeming with hidden threats, now seemed to breathe easier. Though he knew that crime would always exist, and new threats would rise, this victory was monumental. It was a testament to perseverance, intelligence, and bravery. As dawn broke over Metroville, Police Walla silently vowed to continue his mission, protecting the city, upholding justice, and facing every challenge with courage. The Black Serpents were gone, but the lessons of strategy, vigilance, and resilience would guide him in every battle to come. The city slept peacefully for the first time in months, unaware of the storm that had raged in the shadows, and the hero who had faced it unflinchingly, Police Walla, the guardian of justice. Police Walla,